All right. Welcome back. Welcome back, you guys, to another episode of It Ends With Us. I am Brittany Wilder. I'm your hostess with the mostest, you guys. And I help divorced women reclaim their identity and rise again in their peace, their confidence, and their divine power. And I am so excited about this podcast, y'all, because it has been a long time coming. Anybody who has watched me for a while knows that I am the generational curse breaker in my family. What does that mean? I am willing to do all the things in the name of healing. Amen. I know there's somebody else that's watching this right along with me, and you're the generational curse breaker as well. And so I have a beautiful, 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 beautiful spirit on today. I am so excited for you guys to meet her and to hear what she is talking about on today when it comes down to generational curse breaking. So I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. Miss CoCo. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. My name is CoWano Stanley, for some that don't know. And I am a confidence building coach, speaker, and author. And I help women, especially single moms, with rebuilding their confidence from setbacks and trauma and help them to increase their confidence so that they can walk in their purpose by launching their own business.
Let's go. I'm excited because this is my listen, y'all. This is my sis right here. I love me some CoCo. Her energy is just on fire. So I know she's gonna set this podcast off, and I'm just really excited about it. So let's go ahead and jump right in. We already know what a generational curse is. I do like to explain it just in case this is your first time hearing that term. A generational curse is a habit, a cycle, a mindset, it could be any of those different things that are stopping you from walking into God's purpose on your life. Now, these things happen in our families and they're passed down generation to generation to generation, which is why it is a generational curse, right? And that's what we are focused in on breaking. And it takes a real special person like me and CoCo to be able to break that thing down and stop it and say it ends here with us. It will not go on to our children and our children's children. Amen. Okay. So CoCo, first question that I always ask everybody is, what is that generational curse, that cycle, that family pattern that you noticed you had to break?
For me, the generational curse was the domestic violence. I think many families, even with just people cursing each other out, all of that is still a part of it's an abuse.
Yeah.
Growing up in the South and then raised in Minneapolis, Minnesota, you deal with that. You watch people, your mother cuss you, your father cuss you out, or, in my circumstance, my mother went through domestic violence. So that some people, just like my father was an alcoholic, some people end up not being that alcoholic or not being in those domestic violent relationship, where in my case, me and my siblings, we didn't become alcoholics, but I dealt with the domestic violence. So you would have think, being me watching it, okay, I ain't gonna do that. But because my father, rest in peace, my father's he changed his life, of course. However, I saw that and I end up, because he wasn't there, my mother left, it ended up, I fell into the statistics of going after men. I didn't really have that father figure in front of me. So I went after what I thought a father looked like, but those were men that were controlling, manipulative, cheaters, liars. I mean, it was just everything, and I accepted that, and I didn't heal from one. I went from one after the other, so I went back to back. So, and that's why I'm so intentional with, even in life, just making sure you're not repeating stuff that that are unhealthy.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And I know that domestic violence it's so frequent. I know that there are even times where we have seen it so often in our families, we don't even address that that's what's going on.
Mhm.
But that ultimately, abuse is the bottom line. That's what we are dealing with. That's what we are seeing. And I love how you talked about how, because you saw it, you thought that that was it, like you searched for that in men, you searched for the father figure that you saw in men. And I think that a lot of the times we do that as women, right? They say women look for their daddy and men look for their mama. It's so true in so many ways, and it's such a thing that's not even in the forefront of our minds. It's so unconscious, right? It's that unconscious space, that subconscious space where this is familiar to me, so I'm walking into that. So I love how you started off and you shared that, because I know this one is huge, super huge. So I know you said that you walked into some of those different things, those cycles. Exactly how did it show up in your life? And what was that like aha moment that you were like, oh no, I'm done here. This is a wrap. I cannot pass this on. It ends right here with me. What was that moment or
I
situation?
don't think I ever knew I was walking into it. I don't think I ever was aware that I was going into it. I don't think I even realized I was walking into those situations. I think growing up, going through high school, teenage, high school, young adult life, I just was going after men that I felt that was for me. Not being aware. And in a lot of situations in life, it doesn't even have to be domestic violence. Being aware. That's why it's important to be in tune with who you are, doing the personal development. Although we are raised one day but once you become adults, you have to start doing the personal development,
Come
even to
on.
become the greater person that God wants you to be. Even though you may still go through some situations, you still have to be responsible and accountable for doing that personal work so that you don't go into certain situations. There are some situations you are going to go into because it's a part of who you're supposed to, for you to become who God wants you to become. Because
Come
if you
on.
don't go through those situations, how would you even know how to become who you're supposed to become if you
Yeah.
never went through it?
Yeah.
So some stuff we can't, as they say, can't cheat death, can't cheat life. You got to
Mm-mm.
go through it. Even though we don't know what that is and what that looks like. But the aha moment for me was because I was a single mom and I were choosing the wrong men. I was being mindful of what was in front of my son, but I didn't realize it until I probably got into the third abusive relationship.
Okay.
And then as I went through that, and that was the longest one, but that was also the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
So because that one went so long, it's hard to explain to the people who have not been in domestic violence because I was one of those people like I would never do it. I would never let this. I would never let that happen. But you just never know. When you're in
Right.
it, you're in it. And
Yep.
as they say, love, you do some crazy things, but love shouldn't hurt either. You
That's
know, and it shouldn't hurt in a way where it's damaging to you.
yeah.
But I realized that once I got to the place and I got tired after that third one, and I got tired. Did I
Mm.
walk away right away? No. It took me 3 times to leave the situation before I was completely done with the situation in 12 and a half years.
Right.
So it was more of me becoming aware, like this ain't okay. And then it became a more awareness to me when my son started getting older through
Yes.
the teenage years. And I'm like, this is not healthy for him and it's not healthy for me. So I started doing the work within, but it didn't happen overnight. It still was years before me starting the work to getting out of it before I was completely out of it. I
Right.
didn't start the speaking stuff to share my story until end of 2020 going into 21.
Right.
I didn't get out of the relationship, the last one, I should say, until 2020.
Yeah.
But in between all of those years, I was doing work little by me unto notice to me. I was doing the work to speak. I would have never known that I was going to be a speaker.
Right. Woo!
So sometimes when you're going through the stuff, you don't even realize that's for you for something else.
Yep. Come
Because if
on.
you'd asked me 10 years ago, you going to be a speaker? No. You going to write a book? No.
Oh,
But the situations sometimes that we have to go through, even though they may hurt, they actually are for you to become who you're supposed to become.
that's right. Yeah. Of
It doesn't feel good. Nobody wants to go through pain.
course not. What? Yes, thank you. You said a lot of different things. Just from, the reasons why we go through the things is so that we can become who we are meant to be. The speaker, the author, the sharing the story, right? Me being a divorcee and attracting other divorced women, right? Like it's natural. It's meant to be because God knew that on the other side of divorce, I would be helping people heal, right? Just like you on the other side, you're able to share your stories and connect with women who have gone through, domestic violence, who are still in the midst of it. And I love that you're so honest and open and real. You're like, it didn't happen overnight. It took me 3 times to go back. And people are sometimes embarrassed by that, but you have said it in a way that you have claimed your power in that. You're like, no, it didn't happen the first, the second, but the third time, baby, when I saw that my son was observing something that I didn't want him to start doing, right? Because that's how a generational curse happens.
Mm-hmm.
We see it and we think it's okay and we start doing it in our own lives. But you
Mm-hmm.
were like, nah, I don't want my baby to, we're not doing that. We stop right here and right now. And I love how you talk about personal development. I'm big on personal, that's why you my sis, because I'm big on personal development too. I'll be like, you know what? Like, you're messing things up. Do
Right.
your work. Be open to your work, folks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just so real and so honest. And I just appreciate you for just even having the willingness to share, right? Okay. Now, my last question is always one that kind of takes us through your healing journey, right? It's about the different tools you have used, the practices, faith strategies, anything that you have used in the process of becoming and healing and breaking down this generational curse of letting go of domestic violence and moving forward into healthier relationships, right? So, what does that look like? What has helped you, those strategies that have helped you break free?
The first thing that helped me to even start to recognize I had to have confidence was when I wanted to take my own life in 2012.
Mm.
That's where it started. It's like, you know what? Because now not only was I dealing with, even though at that time I had left the situation the first time,
Yeah.
but I had started, that's where I was like I'm broken. And then, everything else that life threw at me, the losing of the job, shutting down, and not having this, living in another state, and like, I mean, it was just life stuff happening on top of me already being broken.
Right.
So when I tried to take my life, and it's like, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live having to raise my son like this. I don't want to live not having a job, can't pay my bills,
Right.
dealing with the mental. Because remind you, at the first time when I almost took my life, it was mentally, I wasn't there. I had only been gone at that time from the situation. I had only been gone, what, 4 years from the situation, from the 12 and a half. I had only been gone 4 years. So mentally, I hadn't went through no journey of anything. So
Right.
mentally, I'm still remembering everything that I was said that I am not.
Yeah.
The
Ooh,
kick down moment. So all of that is still playing. Then life is happening itself. And so when I made that decision to try to take my life, and God's like, no, you
yeah.
know, in the midst, by using my son to come into the house to hear his voice, to wake me up, to say, hey, don't take another pill, you know? So that's what it started for me to say, you know what? I have to do better. So
Yeah.
that's where, to be honest, that's where the power affirmation started for me.
Yeah.
At 20, matter of fact, I was 30 some years old at that time.
Right.
So mind you, my son is only probably like sixth or seventh grade.
At that time.
So at that time, so that's where it started for me. So me moving, choosing at that time, I was living in the state of North Carolina, and I moved back to Minnesota because that's where family was, and I needed to get back on point. So I chose, I'm one of those people that I, just like one of my aunts who always was the teacher that had every certificate. I was one of those people, and I'm still one of those people. So I went back to school. So when
Come
I
on,
moved
Capricorn.
back,
Let them
right,
know, Capricorn.
I went back to school, and that was part of my journey because I knew I was passionate about education and about learning. So that was the start of me working on me, going back to school, and then just doing little pieces at the time, getting back into faith. I grew up in the church, so I knew of God, and that's why it's important. And this is not me trying to encourage anybody what they should do, but you cannot live life without God.
Come on
I
now.
was raised in the church, but it allowed me to go back to God.
Yes.
And so
Foundation.
I went back to God. I started practicing more of my faith. I started getting a little bit more into the church. I started a little bit of meditation. So I started piece by piece, little things at a time that helped me get back to what do I love. Because by now, at this time, I wasn't solely into my confidence. I
Right.
might have, people would have told you, me walking around, people would have looked like and thought I was confident. But it's not the outside, it's what's on the inside.
Come
There's
on.
so many people broken on the inside. The
Mm,
outside is just the outer shell. They
yeah.
can compliment you all day long, but what does the inside feel like? Is the inside happy,
Right.
joyful, at peace? Or is the inside just you're torn apart and you're ready to snap?
Yep.
And
Yep.
so that for me is what made me come to the place of slowly digging pieces, started getting into, at this time, I think 2013, social media was a little bit more better, following in different communities to start fueling myself with encouragement and
Right.
start feeling like I was somebody. I
Yeah.
wasn't an average. I
Come
deserved
on.
better. And
Yes.
so I had to start resetting my mindset. Mindset is the biggest battle every single day.
And
Your
is.
mind will tell you this. And another side will tell you that. So you have to fight with your battle the every day that God allows you to wake up.
That's
What is
right.
going to be your decision? What is going to be your response? In spite of what life is showing you physically, what's going on, what are you going to believe? The report of reality, and not saying you ignore reality that this bill ain't paid, you can't get this job. In spite of what all that looks like, what did God say? And
Come
that's
on.
where you have to start tapping into your patience. That's where you have to start pulling into God, because sometimes we can put so much focus on the problem that we can't even focus on God needs to do what he needs to do.
Right.
So
Yes.
we will focus more than you got to take your mindset off of the problem, but get up and start giving God and declaring your day every day that God leads and God directs you, that God gives you the patience and the faith to go through today's, because tomorrow's not promised anyway, so we can
That's
only
right.
focus on the one moment today.
Yeah.
So each day gets better, even though each day may be hard. Yes,
Mhm.
you're going to cry. Yes, you're human. Yes, you're going to have the emotions. So
Right.
every day was a process for me. And you have to wake up. There's many times life has not been easy for me, but it has been a process to where I'm learning to enjoy the moment in spite of what's going on.
That's right. Yeah.
Find the gratefulness in the situation. Find the gratefulness in my life. Find what I'm grateful for, what God has blessed me with that somebody else may wish they had.
Right. Yeah.
Because you can be wealthy. There's people who's not wealthy and have an average living, and they're more happier than people who got all the money.
Come on. It's the truth.
So you have to find that and fight with your battle. And that was really the thing for me going through domestic violence, with the three different domestic violence situation. It killed my confidence in
Yeah.
who I was and who I believed I was.
Right.
I had to get back to my dreams and goals. I had to get back because I'm an ambition that you can see behind me if you can't see, but behind my camera,
Come on,
I'm
baby.
super.
Yes.
I'm ambitious and driven.
Come on now.
I have a lot of determination.
Yes.
I have more energy than most people. Be like, girl, how do you get all this done in a day? They be like, girl, do you sleep? Yeah, I sleep. But the problem is you have to be determined. I'm one of those people they call I'm goal oriented. I my fuel and my confidence is off of achieving goals.
Yes.
I love achieving goals.
That's
And
right.
so me finding, you have to find your every single day through the journey. If your confidence, let me tell you this, your confidence be killed today and be up
Hello.
tomorrow. So it just depending on what life done threw at you.
That's right.
So this is why you have to have the tools to keep your confidence up every day, and you have to surround yourself with people that keep you encouraged sometimes.
Yes,
And,
ma'am.
and you have that own encouragement. What for me, what my journey was and kept me confidence most of the time, even now, and I still continue to do the tools, is making sure that I find something that gets lifts me up. Have my moment of crying or down, but outside of that, don't let it stay there because you'll sink into depression so far that it's hard to get out.
Correct.
So for me, the journey is making sure I found tools to keep me uplifted. That the best audio, something edit Eric Thomas, and
Mhm.
all of these Les Brown, other people
Yep.
listen to great gospel music that encouraged my spirit. Listen to a little bit of R&B that encouraged my spirit.
Hello.
Thing, read a book, watch a good movie calms me down. Whatever
Yep.
it is to give you out of that depressed mode that the devil will want you to stay in.
Yes.
Because you got to get through each day is going to be hard. Whether it's death come apart, someone in your family passed away, that's going to get, life is still going to happen. It's not if, it's when. So you got to
Correct.
know how to respond to those situations to where
Yeah.
it does not kill your confidence. Now you're lost. Now you're stuck. Now you're self doubt. Now you're in fear. Like all of these things are happening. So
Mhm.
you have to have a set of tools every single day, intentionally,
Right.
strategically.
Yes.
Pray, meditate, deep breathing.
Mhm.
One of the things I've been learning to focus on, and this is huge for me, and it's a new journey for me, is focusing on the chakras, the 7 different
Come
energy
on.
chakras, from the sole of your feet down to up to the crown of your head. Each
Yeah.
one of those means something. When one is off, they're all off.
Yes. Yes.
And it's a process learning those, but you have to implement what you're learning.
Yep. Action.
It's so much to confidence, and I tell people the foundation of it is too much to even explain because confidence ties into a whole lot of stuff.
Everything.
Your health, your business, your career, your
Your dating,
finances, decision making, everything.
everything. Your money.
There's so much. People just think confidence, oh, it's about cuteness and prettiness. Absolutely not.
Yeah, so much more. So much more.
So
Thank you
I'm
for breaking that
passionate
down.
about what I do. I'm so passionate about, being that single mom. That's why I coach and I teach the single moms. Now it doesn't exclude women because it still include women as well, but
Right.
definitely single moms because I was that single mom that was passionate and driven, but confidence down the line through domestic violence caused me to lose that. And I had
Right.
to pick it back up
Yep.
because you have to find your purpose. I
That's
can't
right.
find it for you. I can't lead you to it.
No.
And you really don't always understand what you're here to do, that God put you on this earth if you're still living and breathing until you start tapping into the self work.
Come on.
Those hard questions that you didn't even think about. That's why with my books, I always put self reflective exercise and questions in the book
Right. Yep.
because you got to do the work.
It's needed. And people don't recognize how much it's needed.
It's needed.
So much going within and figuring out all these, why I feel the way I do, why I'm triggered by this and all. Like that work is needed in order for
Absolutely.
you to get to that next step. Just like you said, where God wants us to be, our purpose. What?
And if you don't answer, in order to figure out what's going on, you got to ask those questions. And most of those questions people don't even think about.
No.
I asked somebody the other day, a male, about emotional safety. And he was like, you know what? That's a good question. I never thought about that.
Never thought about that.
People don't. And so it takes people like myself and you, Generation Curses, to get people aware.
Yep. That's right.
Let people become aware. Because you might have the confidence today. You got people making 6, 7 figures. They look like they happy, but their confidence is killed somewhere.
Correct.
In some area of their life.
Right. Yeah, that's good. So much of that is good. The last question that I always ask everybody is if somebody was dealing with this same generational curse right here, right now, what are the words of encouragement that you would give them? Like, what is that one thing that you would like that will snap them out of it so that they could break down their generational curse?
The words of encouragement I would give to anybody dealing with any type of generational curse is to step outside of your comfort zone. With technology, there's so many things that you can find that you didn't know.
Yep.
So there is no excuse of you Googling or searching what can you do to start day one to get out of this situation.
Yes.
So there is no excuse. We're not living in 1980s. There's technology, there's YouTube, there's so many answers. And then you work your way to find the best coach, the best mentor. You might have to go through several different coaches and mentors, and that's okay because you'll learn a little bit from everyone.
Correct. Hire and fire is real.
Like, yeah, so you don't stick with one the rest of your life. You're gonna might have to change. Okay, well, this one gave me what I needed over here. I got to go find another one for the next step that I need.
Right. That's right.
So my words of encouragement, if you're dealing with any type of generational curse, whether it's domestic violence, whether it's financial abuse, whether it's some type of sexual situation that happened when you were a kid, whatever they may be, on top of that, I always tell people it's okay to get therapy.
Come on now.
Get you a little bit. When I tell people with confidence in my classes that you have to surround yourself with supportive people that's going to give you good advice and good constructive criticism, and that in that circle could include a lot of people. A licensed therapist, it can include a spiritual pastor or minister, evangelist. It can include a good best friend who's going to give you good. Every one of those, it can include a coach. It can include somebody in the community. But all of those need to still align with what God has for you. That helps you to become better.
That's right.
You cannot include anybody in those circles that's not helping you become better.
Come on now.
So you need a little bit of everybody because they all got different lanes that they focus on. And it all can come in alignment together.
Right.
The pastor can't preach on licensed stuff that a licensed therapist or a counselor has. Because he ain't got the license for it. Everybody got their own license for their own different parts.
Correct.
Or older, wisdom grandparent or something get you, but you need all of them. They're necessary.
Yes.
You just got to know when you need each one.
Right. Right. That's good. That's so good. Yeah. The circle of support is so real. So real. And there's a lot of people that don't have it. I talk about mentorship all the time. What if I didn't have my mentor? What?
Yeah.
Where would I
Yeah, you
be?
need a mentor for everything nowadays. Even the best of the best mentors got their own mentor. Like
Mentor.
we all still need to be coached no matter what. We
Correct.
don't stop with ourselves. We still got to go somebody who's better than us or greater than us
Correct.
or
And
who on a higher level than us. Regardless what that is, you still got to have all of those circles.
yep.
And you have a little bit of the male side and the female side.
Right.
Each gender should always have some of the a mixture, not just all women, not just all men.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And
No,
you take what you need. You know, it's the old saying, what they say, you take the meat, you need the bone, you throw the rest away or something like that.
Yep. Yep. No. Yeah. Spit out the bones. Yep. Eat the
Yeah,
meat. Spit out the
just take
bones.
what you need because everybody will be able to give you a solid advice. It's up to you what parts of those you will take the advice for and use because other people are experienced are to be able to help us.
Yes.
We shouldn't want to go through everything by ourselves and say, well, I just want to go through the experience. No, you don't.
No.
Some experience you don't have to go through, and there's some you will have to go through.
Yes.
That's just like we raise kids. We know we try to protect our kids from going through experience, but we cannot stop them from going through everything. There's
Not
some
at all.
stuff they'll listen. There's some stuff they have to learn on their own.
Exactly. And it's for the betterment of
It's
them.
for the better to grow them and who they supposed to be. Yes.
What? What?
Yes.
Thank you so much, CoCo. Let the people know how they can get in touch with you, the things that you have coming up, all of that good stuff. Let them know how they can get in touch with you and all of that good stuff.
So if you want to get in contact with me, you can go to myconfidenceiskey.com and keep up to date with what's going on. That you can get your free ebook over there as well. You can get a copy of a couple of my books that's out. I just had a new one that just came out. But definitely go to myconfidenceiskey.com. Also, I have a conference that's coming up that I am the founder of. Reclaim Your Confidence is here in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the third year, and I'm proud of myself to keep pushing because there are plenty of times didn't want to do the first or the second.
Come
But I'm
on.
on my third year, and it's going to be greater. So you can go to Reclaim Your Confidence Conference.com for that one. Reclaim Your Confidence Conference.com.
That's
And
right.
thank you so for having me. You know, I get passionate when I get on these little podcasts.
And I'm like, let her cook. Let her cook. Like, yeah, please speak about it. The people need to hear it. You guys already know at the end of the day, if you are dealing with anything when it comes down to abuse or you're just struggling and you need some help, go ahead and book that consultation. It's 2026. Y'all know it's the spill every single time. It's a new year. Like we're still at the new year. We're 22 days in. Come on. It's your time. It is your time to get to that new space. We talked about self-development. I'm always so happy about that because that is so important. Getting to your next step, getting to where God has called you to be. A lot of us have some callings, $1 million, $1 billion callings on our lives, and we're not doing the work to get to where God wants us to be. Stop playing with yourself and with me, and let's go. Okay, y'all, we will be back for another episode. Thank you, CoCo, again, and we will see you guys later. Bye.